What she does is on her. I haven't cow-tipped, in my opinion. I have maybe stopped the story from ending too early. This is way outside of haydurnation. This is life. I am no one's savior, and I am no one's hero. I don't think I am, okay, at all. You don't always have to follow a crowd, guys. You just don't. You go in life with what you know is right, what feels right to you. That's what I did. So for me, Frenchie, and us, the Gorl gang, it's right back to reactions.
Haydurnation continues to be one of the most rapidly growing communities on this platform. Continuously, we are introduced to new characters, new drama, new interactions, and people flip-flop sides, and it's just constantly a hot mess for a teeny tiny little bit of pettiness and tea. And you know what? Most of us are here for it. Please, let's just not lie. However, every now and then, something strange emerges from this community. And I think at this point there was a new character introduced with new habits and new traits and a new perspective that might actually be the main reason why haydurnation crumbles. Now, if you do not know what haydurnation is and you've never been made aware of it prior to this video, then I will definitely urge you to check out the video linked below made by Cecil McFly regarding haydurnation and how it came to be. But in short, haydurnation consists of a community formed around these two women specifically, Amberlynn Reed and Foodie Beauty, and a bunch of reactors that just love reacting to them, and by extension there's a whole community and people have built entire channels on the drama and the intrigue and the fascination regarding every little tidbit of these women's lives. Now, since some of these reactors have shown pretty hateful and bullying traits, a new community emerged called the anti-haters, and they in themselves have an audience as well. And these anti-haters react to the haters reacting to these girls. Now, it's very important to note that anti-haters are not necessarily themselves saying that the girls are fine. They're not white knighting per se. Some of them might be doing that. Most of them do not. They simply critique and hold accountable haters, and in turn, some haters do react to the antis reacting to them, and it's a lot of infighting, it's a lot of pettiness. Usually, as far as it goes, is a bunch of people calling each other fat fucks and seeing who is the last man standing. Now, that is all fine and dandy. However, a new type of reactor emerged in all of this.
I'm on no one's side. I'm not a hater, I'm an anti-anti. I've never been on no one's side. And it's the best place to be.
She's not a hater, she's an army of one. She's the Frenchfriedgorl. This girl has got her own shit going on because she does not draw the line where the community usually tends to draw the line, and in turn she's created a whole nother set of an audience, a whole nother set of the community who's very encouraged to interact and what is called cow tipping in the lol cow community. Cow tipping of course refers to interacting with the lol cows. So in this case Chantal Marie Foodie Beauty. Now, the problem is that influencers do actually influence people. I know, I was shocked too. I really thought most of us could think for ourselves, but this is not the day that the Lord has graced us with. So, in this video, I'm going to present an abbreviated timeline of just the main reasons why I think Frenchfriedgorl created a community that'll easily, willy-nilly cow tip, and then got themselves into a massive situation where now one of the most serious allegations that you could possibly throw at somebody is now just seen as hot as tea. I don't think it's just something that sporadically happened in the community. I definitely think that she should be held accountable for her part in this. In order to keep up with the shenanigans of haydurnation, it takes a village, people. I had to consult a bunch of different sources, listed here somewhere around me. So, if any of these sources particularly upset you or makes you think that this made some bias in my narration of the story, then you are more than welcome to suck my dick. Also, please do not send hate, harassment, bullying to anybody mentioned in this video. Everybody's getting it from every side in this community, and anyway, you can just sit back and watch the shit show.
Oh, Peanut, that is such a fucking reach. I really hope you didn't stretch, because I want you to break your fucking back, bitch.
You see, Frenchfriedgorl is not like the other girls. She started off her journey by being inspired by the famous lol cows to go on their own kind of journey and prove to all of the other haters in this community how easy it is to lose all of that weight.
So why am I here? I've been watching Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn Reid, people like them, on YouTube since about 2017. Like so many other people, I found them while wanting to start my own weight loss and looking for motivation online. I'd say it took me about 4 to 5 complete cycles for me to realize that they weren't sincere weight loss channels, but they were hustlers.
So she went on some kind of water fast or some shit. I don't know. She didn't end up losing the weight, so who really cares what she did? But, you know, power to people putting the journeys online and keeping it well documented. However, in the fall of the great empire of haydurnation, the first battle was between the anti-haters and the haters establishing themselves as 2 different factions and one arguing who's more hypocritical than the other. This was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. However, some people took to Twitter as the primary platforms in which to argue with each other. It was in this moment, around, and I'm saying around because the evidence has since been deleted, but it was around February/March of 2021 that Frenchfriedgorl decided to move away from Twitter, or to rather substantiate all her Twitter hatred by making a video specifically addressing one of the leaders in the anti-hater movement called The Gaining Ground. Now, since she has privated and removed almost all traces of these videos existing, and I'm assuming it's because of the content of what she's saying and it would not make a monetized channel flourish or be AdSense friendly, the only trace that I could find of this was a video, kind of a reaction section from a creator called Straight Talking Fedora Chic. And this was reaction to reaction, and I just want to show you some clips of stuff that she herself had said, which is all on Twitter, so this is just kind of the energy that she's bringing to the table.
Thing about liking a violent prick of a Gigi. And you know what? You missed the point of that video, Peanut. I wasn't just calling out the violence. I'm now criticizing every single misstep that you guys take.
Misstep? You mean you have all day to watch us?
Just like you do to Charlie and to other people in the Hater Nation. I'm gonna rip apart every single fucking step you take. Every breath you take. I'm gonna analyze it.
Ugh.
Do you understand?
So this is how she entered the community. The video following this video was one in which she stated that since Hater Nation had found her and they just absolutely loved how she antagonized the anti-hater, that they are now in favor of her and she should definitely start reacting to the girls. So this is where she established herself as a reaction channel who is going to forevermore react to Chantal Marie primarily and sometimes to Amberlynn Reid. So it's very important to note at this point that she wasn't specifically a content creator that wanted to react and, you know, public figures having a public spat, but instead she was more of a private person who decided to directly antagonize the anti-haters. Now, I'm not saying that anybody was right in this matter, but it's important for the timeline to remember that she stepped outside of her normal zone in order to address these people.
We're standing at the corner of DeCarry and Queen Mary, and right down there, just down there, 5 minutes from here, is the Orange Julep. Ooh, I'm feeling a little thirsty. Should we pop in and say hi?
This is when things started getting really, really interesting, because it was at this moment in time that Chantal Marie Foodie Booty decided that 2021 was going to be her year. This is the year of the cow, and she is dating, she's slaying, she's on those apps, and she will meet those people. Right, now, Foodie Booty lives in Canada, and Frenchfriedgorl lives in the next town over, also Canadian, about 40 minutes between the two of them. For that reason, she's obviously significantly closer to where Chantal is located. So her reactions came from the angle that she has some sort of she has some sort of knowledge about these different places, so she can give some insight that most of the other creators could not. So her content was seen as niche and valuable in the community, and this made her subscriber count escalate drastically overnight. She had very particular speculations, which most of them were confirmed actually afterwards. They were related to places that Chantal had been, lies that Chantal had told and spending time with, and how her dating life had been. She had speculated on these things, and it turned out that she was actually correct about most of them. And this could be because of her location. She also claims it's due to people that she knows in the area, specifically some kind of a mob, which is weird. which is very weird. I don't know, this is immediately giving me stalker vibes because this is like the opposite of a stan, right? It's like a stalker hater, right? It's not a stalker fan. So I would be very uncomfortable if somebody reacted to my content, my daily full-on live streams, and were living 40 minutes away from me, and then telling their community that they have insider info, and then also attaching a very clear proof on the subscriber account and on the view count that this is working in her favor. Anybody who was looking at her community at that time could see that she was absolutely winning because of this insider information. A lot of people would go as far as to say otherwise her content is insanely boring and you can't sit through it, and holy fuck, that is annoying to watch her. But that won't be me. No, I would never say something like that. No, I fucking love this shit. Okay, so Frenchfriedgorl established her as a person with extra hot tea, and she could find types of evidence based on live streams that Chantal had did, where she was, and basically geo-track her location. Yes, I wanted to say it like that. Fucking sue me. And she could pinpoint that Chantal was lying about seeing this specific man that she's currently seeing. Now, it's also important to note, as just a little side deal, that this guy that she's seeing is called Nader, and he has been reported to be a pretty terrible person. That's as much as I'm going to go into that. At this point in the history, it's been established that he's not to be trusted. Nobody likes him. Haters, anti-haters community, watchers, Chantal's community, nobody, Chantal's family, Chantal's real life friends, absolutely nobody thinks this is a good guy. I guess this person would have been the thing that would have brought everybody together, but no, we can't have nice things. We can't. Okay, so we don't like this person, and everybody urging Chantal to never see this guy again. And of course, Chantal decided to lie and say that she's not seeing this guy anymore. She's breaking it off. She's not doing no things with him. She's just living her truth, and she's just taking trips through Montreal and Quebec, and she's just sightseeing, you know. And then Frenchfriedgorl came with the proof, and she was able to actually pinpoint that Chantal is in fact still seeing this guy. This was seen as very valuable because the community quote-unquote cares about Chantal, so therefore they would want to know that she's safe and that she's not seeing him anymore because he's in actual danger. So that was the reason behind it, and that's why this sort of interfering in somebody's life and this sort of research was kind of accepted, and it was fine, and if anything, it was encouraged, right? The community wanted to know this.
I'm going to see The Weeknd in February. Well, they're coming to Montreal, so we can go get an orange julep.
Well, I guess that means in February I'll be going to The Weeknd and to the Orange Julep also. How about that?
Now, if you have insider information and you can prove something as significant as that Chantal's lying on an undeniable way in a manner that isn't doxing in the way that KiwiFarms typically does, then of course you're going to build a community because you are bringing something to the table, literal content that people want to see. This is important. Of course, now you got to keep it up. You got to do something more or equal at the very least. But in a very, very short time since then, something very strange started happening in the narrative. Frenchfriedgorl decided that she needed to confess, I guess, or explain or relate I don't understand it, but she decided that she needed to tell her audience that the reason why she cares this much about Chantal is because she herself relates to the experience of an abusive ex. So she has been dating somebody that almost exactly resembles this person that Chantal is seeing, and she thinks therefore that she has insight that Chantal needs to hear. And this is very important because she needs to be unblocked by Chantal on YouTube so that she can contact Chantal and then give her all this amazing insider information, which she's not qualified to give. She's not close to Chantal. She doesn't know Chantal. She doesn't have any qualifications in abusive exes, and she doesn't have a monopoly on it. And also, she doesn't actually care about Chantal by her own words. So for some reason, this was still very important, and nobody could do it like our girl. So she decided to cross the first of the lines. She decided to cow tip.
Anybody could go do that. Right now, if I went to Kentucky, drove my big ass over to Kentucky, and I was like, I'm outside of Amber Lynn's apartment, could you imagine the numbers that I would get? You're nothing special. So the fact that you keep talking about your numbers just makes you look even more ridiculous. Of course you got the numbers. You're acting like you got all the know over there in your little group. Like FFG wants to get a hold of Chantal and tell her the information that she knows about Nader, okay? So she knows about some kind of ring of men that are, what do you think that you know that Chantal doesn't know? That's what I want to know,
Okay? What makes you think and this supposedly has been going on since what, April, that she's had this information that she keeps hitting around to y'all, but it's kind of like, you know how Amber and Chantel both say they want to talk about it and they don't want to talk about it, and you're like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? She's been doing the same shit. She's doing the same shit that Chantel's doing. I'm going to talk about it, but I ain't going to talk about it. I know the ins and out, but I ain't going to tell y'all all of it. So anyways, we have posted some shit about you're not supposed to tip the cow, because you're not. You're supposed to let the person go off and do whatever they do. You're not supposed to, Chantel knows what kind of guy Nader is. Chantel knows he's a drug addict. Chantel knows that he's a user. Chantel knows that he's an abuser. What else do you need to reach out to tell Chantel that's going to make her think any different about the man that she's in love with? Please tell me. What? What is it that you know that none of us know that she needs to know so bad that after all this shit that she knows about Nader, that's going to make her change her mind? I know he don't work. I know he's a bum. I know all these horrible things about this man. But the one thing that you hold in your hand is the ace card, right? That's what you're going to throw down to Chantel. Chantel will be like, oh my God, I've got to break up with him. I've got to move on. That's a way you're doing the same shit that Chantel does. You're manipulating your audience. That's all you're doing. So because we speak out on it, because we're supposed to watch the shit show, not be a part of it, for whatever weird reason, you want to be in Chantel's life. It's freaking creepy. I get it. You're obviously not a hater, because haters wouldn't do that shit. It's weird.
And this was very important. The entire community, people were spamming Chantel in her comment section while she was live, saying that she needs to unblock Frenchfriedgorl. She needs to talk to Frenchie. She needs to talk to her. She needs to talk to her. This is very important. Okay. So the whole community decided that cow tipping is something that needs to happen, because it's, we care about the lol cow, and of course, what else could matter? And Frenchfriedgorl has such insight that it needs to be said, it needs to be out there in this world. So what she then decided to do, be in a call with Chantel and Chantel's best friend named Shannon. Please remember her, because this is foreshadowing. And the three of them just had a 2-hour conversation. Frenchfriedgorl does not consider this cow tipping.
I haven't cow tipped, in my opinion.
She believes that she told Chantel exactly where her place is and what she needs to know, and she thought she's gonna keep it pushing. However, this was the first signs of a crumbling kingdom, as Yaba then publicly called her out and said that Frenchfriedgorl is fucking with this community, because the whole point of reacting is not to engage. You're not supposed to establish any kind of relationship with these people. You're not supposed to interfere. You're not supposed to be an active member of their life. You're supposed to sit, watch, and enjoy the show. So people seem very divided on this, because there is that whole moral outrage that Frenchfriedgorl's community is establishing at this point, and people really wanted this cow tipping to happen. But Yaba called it out and she decided no, and this was the first signs of a falling community. However, things did not stop there. Why would they? Because then soon after this infamous call, Chantel and her best friend Shannon had a falling out. And then, as one who declared that they were not cow tipping, Shannon appeared and reached out to Frenchfriedgorl in her chat, and then these two decided to have an interview over Chantel again.
Kind of at the beginning of where Haydur Nation, Girl World, whatever you want to call our little community, not meets Shannon. We knew of Shannon in the chat, in Chantel's chat.
Right. I really did. Tried reaching out, calling, texting, and she just kept saying, I'll call you later, blowing me off. I got in contact with her mom and even had conversations with her mom about how concerned I was, and her mom relayed messages and still nothing. And at this point, I feel like Chantel's life is YouTube.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Why I went to your chat is because she blocked me. I don't know who she is anymore.
The maliciousness of her intent really showed when the night that, you dropped the bomb in her chat and she said what she said about you. I'm not excusing it. I think it's disgusting, but a lot of people could say, well, she was so angry. And in the heat of the moment, okay, listen, I'm a Scorpio. I understand the heat of the moment. Mm-hmm. 1 month later to the day, and she again rehashed your DV, stories about your kids, the story again about the graduation. So what's the argument a month later? But she was still so angry? You had a month to calm down. No, that's intense. That's awful.
Remember, Shannon actually in real life knows Chantal, and they have been friends for over 23 years. So her perspective of caring and worrying about Chantal is not on the same level or comparable to a reactor seeing Chantal and reacting to Chantal. The two cannot be related. Knowing Chantal versus knowing Chantal. If you're concerned that somebody is being hurt by their partner and the only real life steps that you're willing to take is online and to do an interview, it could make it worse by actively provoking the perpetrator in the story. I just don't see how this was a good idea on anybody's side, and I think this definitely counts as part of the cow tipping, because a private person in the cow's life was now brought to the public to defend or disavow the actions of their friend. This was weird. I did not know how to relate to this, and this is where we see haydurnation starting to crumble. This is not looking good, because people are not sitting easy with this idea of whether or not it's cow tipping and whether or not it's okay. However, Frenchfriedgorl is keeping and pushing, and she is being rewarded by the community. She's getting more views, more subs than almost ever. And at this point, she decided to establish a friendship with another creator called Just Sayin, who's the infamous archival channel of the haydurnation. She catches all the deleted live streams and she posts them, and she's very, very valuable to this community in this time that Chantal is deciding to live stream 90% of her life. And when this interview got struck, Just Sayin was lovely enough to put it on her channel just for the record, and that's absolutely where I got all of this from.
She made me do it.
You're gonna have fun. You're gonna like it. What? Slow mode. I always forget. Thank you.
The important thing that I want you to notice from the previous section is that there was now a clear divide. There was a group of people that saw a benefit and a victory in the actions of Frenchfriedgorl interacting with the lol cows that are being reacted to and pretty much literally interfering in her actual real life and finding some relatability. And then another side saying we absolutely do not cow tip, we cannot help these people, and we should not try to change them or interfere or stop this train wreck in any kind of way. That distinction was happening, but both of them have inspired a community around them. The first part is seeing it as something very valuable where you could save a hoe, and the other part seeing it as absolutely interfering at no point, and you absolutely did not help in a greater scheme of things. So in other words, Captain Save a Hoe now started to form a community of people who believe that they can take justice into their own hands and they can interact with these little cows, and it'll be a pretty easy stepping stone towards infamy on the internet. Or whatever kind of deal you want out of being a stan, whatever that kind of thing would benefit you from, there is incentive now. This is a new standard that was reached. And this is when serious shit went down in the month of October. Yes, it literally just happened. This is where the most fucked up tea just dropped. So I'll just let this live stream play out and show you what had happened here.
Now listen. I know I was 2 minutes late. I apologize. I had something to go and verify at a certain website. I don't know if we should listen, this is one of those moral dilemmas. Okay? All I'm gonna say is Frenchie the liar was right about something else. Since May, I believe it was, when I called it. Called it? Yeah, that's right. And when I was on the phone with Chantal, I remember her trying to trick me, or I guess see if I knew something more than I was saying, And when his place was mentioned, she goes, "The place in Vanier?" And I go, "No, the place in Gatineau." And she was like, "Oh, damn it." Yeah, that's right. Interesting. Hang on. Well, I'm really sorry. I don't want to say too much, but something's going on. My heart is racing. Oh, shit. This is coming from a very credible source. I don't know if I believe it, but I believe there's some credibility to it. I need to find it on YouTube. We're going to watch a video together. There's a woman who has come forward and accused Koki of SA. It's not our place to share her story, but she brought it to YouTube and put Foodie Beauty's name in her title. I mean, that to me implies somebody who wants her story shared. It's not like somebody else put her story up. You know what I mean?
In the beginning of the stream, she tells us that later she's going to drop some tea. And then towards the end of the video, there is supposedly breaking news of a sexual assault story by a woman called May Anderson, who decided to go IRL and actually meet up with this so-called abusive person that Chantel Marie is dating. She decided that this was a great, fantastic idea, and then she got essayed, allegedly, by this person. And that is probably the farthest that an cow tipping experience could go. This is literally the worst case scenario. However, the reaction immediately was that this is an exclusive, that you can watch the actual interview from May, the alleged victim, and Just Saying on her channel.
This is a very difficult story to tell, but I believe it needs to be told, and I need this to make other women aware of the potential that can happen to you if you make the wrong decision after you hear my story. I'm not going to give you.
Now, 2 videos were uploaded in this regard to Just Saying's channel, and they were promptly removed because most people can see how this is not okay. And yes, the irony of an archive channel deleting videos is not lost on anybody. And of course, one would think that in such a serious case, your first and probably only action would be to deal with this privately and go the law enforcement and, you know, just not put it online, because why? How? What? So it turns out that there's actually a bunch of people now that decided to go IRL and cow tip until they hear an actual audible moo and probably get kicked in the face. They decided to message him on Facebook, and after May came out with their story, some of them had a whole woe is me moment where they actually said that, oh, they're afraid that something bad is gonna happen because this guy has called them on Messenger. Like, bitch. Oh my god, these people.
How many people from our chat actually, when Nader became a public figure in our community, how many of you added him on Messenger, on Facebook? Put a 1 in the chat. If you added Nader, send him a friend request on Messenger or whatever, however that happens, put a 1 in the chat just out of curiosity. I'll wait. Wow, there's a few 1s. I'm never gonna be able to do this. Look, I'll just tell you because there's no way I can go back and find all the 1s. If you're a 1, you can see the door. You can leave. Don't come back. Mod, if you see a 1, you're more than welcome to block it. I don't want any of the 1s in my chat. That's just what it is. Get rid of the 1s. If you see a 1, block it.
And then, to top it off, because, you know, why not? We're in for a penny, in for a pound at this point. FFG decided that this is not her cow tipping. Oh, no. She had no involvement. She will never treat a story as serious as this, just as tea.
That is for law enforcement to figure out. Please take care of your mental health. Absolutely. That's why I'm backing off. Like, this isn't fucking tea anymore. I mean, I'm not in law enforcement.
So instead, she is throwing her best friend Just Saying under the bus, because why not? Why not? You know, why not? This is not a me problem. This is a we problem, right? The whole community has gone too far. We should have stopped this, you guys.
Reaching out to this man. Now, as a result of what has happened, the woman has been identified. And to make matters worse, a family member has been identified. The family member has a YouTube channel. People showed up in her comments section. Oh, you don't know what's coming. Why are we involving non-combatants in this? Why are non-combatants getting dragged into this?
Yeah, so 2 notable creators called DCMediaGirl and again Yaba pulled some stunts and told us where they're at with this whole shit show and how they are not in favor of cow tipping, and they would go as far as to members in the community who are active participants in this cow tipping, and they decided to actively disavow, disengage, and ban these people from their chats. Now, this is their bold move. However, what I can conclusively say is that Frenchfriedgorl is the reason why haydurnation is experiencing its second apocalypse. Who knows how many runs this community has left before it's the end of the story. They probably don't have as many lives left as Chantal and Amberlynn, but you know, it'll be fun to see what happens next. After the community was not in favor of this version of the cow tipping and the consequences were so severe, of course, you now have to publicly disavow it and pretend like you had no part in this and you would never condone it. But there's a reason why things have escalated to this point. There's a reason. If you look at the timeline as I presented it here, it was clear that cow tipping was like that lukewarm water with the frog. It was slowly building up, and the idea that some person thought that they could do a good thing by actually going out and engaging with somebody that they do not know, that they have seen online as part of this community, it's not too far-fetched. So the idea that somebody would conclude after watching this whole year of Frenchfriedgorl that it would be a good thing to interfere with these people's lives, it would be a good thing to meet up and talk to these people, it would be a good idea to know and do some detectiveness by yourself and see what's up, I think it's a very logical conclusion that this would have happened at some point. A logical conclusion. I think it's fucked up, I think it's terrible, and I think the reactors, specifically Frenchfriedgorl, should have done a lot more to be an active participant in disavowing this kind of behavior. But of course she couldn't have, because then that would make her a very blatant hypocrite and that would impede on her process of garnering more views and pulling more antics, because she has to use cow tipping in order to garner the views and gather the evidence that she has at this point. So I think her behavior is fucked up. I think you fucked up bad, and I think throwing your best friend under the bus is bad. I think cow tipping is also pretty bad, and I think you've done enough now. I think it's your time. You should maybe not be in this community. I don't think you are responsible enough to be in this community, and I think you may have indirectly caused very serious pain and trauma to people that might not have been intended, and I just think for that reason, back it up, keep it pushing, go do the weight loss thing again. That was so much fun, wasn't it? That was a lot of fun. So the reason why any and all of this matters could be answered with the simple question of, well, where are they now? And the answer is the alleged victim and their family has been fully fucking doxxed everywhere all over the internet. And meanwhile, Nadir, the accused, is posting fully monetized popular cooking videos and getting Facebook calls from randos on the interwebs. And haters are fighting amongst each other about who was the exclusive on the piping hot tea and who is really at fault here. Oh good God, can the Thot just please come back and get his children in line, goddamn. So yeah, I wanted to show in this video how I think Frenchfriedgorl is the main culprit behind the recent cow tipping, how I do want to give it to the haters that have actively stood up against this and have disavowed this type of action. I want to publicly name and shame the people who have decided to reach out to somebody who is an alleged abuser. I think that's fucking embarrassing. I can't relate to that type of life decision. That would just never be me. But other than that, I'm just a Thot with an opinion. I don't know shit about fuck. Peace.